I've been playing video games for quite some time, but I have not seen a game that have captivated the Nigerian gaming audience like God of War. It's been like 12 years since the first God of War came out, and in case you do not know, it is the most popular video game in Nigeria. It is so big that if you mistakenly say something small about it, it could start a riot.
I was playing God of War 3 yesterday, and there's just one small part I didn't really like. And
you don't like God of War?
No, I just said that.
Can you person talk say you don't like God of War? Now this Aka move for here.
Hey, God of War is okay, but it no be like saying na the best game ever made.
Now the best game they go ever make for this life.
Please, Kratos is just kill, nothing more to it.
Your father!
You said not be yesterday, just like the game. Now you say game What have I done?
It's a game that gets to the center of discussion anytime people are talking about video games. And now, after 1 decade, 4 games on 2 consoles, 2 on a handheld, and a new game right around the corner, whether you love it, hate it, or get sick anytime people talk about it, one thing remains the same. God of War is big in the Nigerian gaming community, and there's nothing anybody can do about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Zansuhira, and today, why God of War worked in Nigeria. God of War is an interesting game either to play or to watch someone playing. It's not as amazing as the fanboys have glorified to be, and it's definitely not as bad as the haters say it is. The reason why I'm making these videos is because I believe there's something more to God of War than just an angry guy on rape mode who just wants to kill everything. But how our culture fits into this and how games can get popular in Nigeria. Let's begin with the element that made it popular in Nigeria. It is interesting enough to grab gamers and non-gamers alike. It has a lot of elements that Nigerians are fascinated about, like Greek mythologies. Movies like Clash of the Titans and 300. Movies like that have always had an impact in this country. And let's not forget, God of War is Greek mythology. God of War has always had other games genre infused in it, but did a very good job not concentrating too much on any of them. Coming in with a flourished and dynamic gameplay, simple upgrading system, decent amount of puzzles that even if you are not a gamer, you could come up with the answers. And a main character that is blank enough that us gamers can project ourselves onto. Now, before some people start running to the comment section to go and write some harsh words because I said that about Kratos, let me explain what I mean. When you look at other game characters like Dante, Solid Snake, and Nathan Drake, these characters bring a lot of personality, charisma, and are fun to listen to. The rule of cool totally apply with these guys. But that's just the problem. They bring a lot of personality to their character that whatever they achieve or we achieve in the game kind of look like their own achievement. Whatever they go through physically or psychologically always feels like their own story. We're just spectators, nothing more. But Kratos' personality, which is always angry, that a lot of us can relate to, when we play as Kratos, we totally feel like a badass. Whatever we achieve in the game doesn't only look like history, it looks like our story. We did it, we achieved it together, we killed a god. Kratos is a badass character that any casual gamer wouldn't even mind being. Think about it for a second. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks and Shadow of the Colossus came out that same year, but who would you rather be? Some guy that is too broke to buy any shirt and screams like a chicken anytime he fights? His friend who stole his mother's basin to put on his head because someone told him he would totally look cool with it? A guy who can't get over the death of his girlfriend and have definitely not heard the phrase "there are other fishes in the sea"? Or a guy who has a chest the size of a dashboard, kills monsters, screws 2 chicks at the same time and goes back to killing monsters that same night? Who do you think Nigerians will choose? Even the ladies, who do you think they'll choose? I'm sure this is not the main reason why a lot of people love this franchise, but a reason why a few people got drawn into this series. But to fully understand how and why it got so popular, we just have to go back in time just a little bit. Mortal Kombat is probably the first game to get a mainstream appeal in Nigeria. Back in the 90s, Mortal Kombat was probably the first game to introduce a lot of gamers to gore, violence, and fatality in a video game. It defined Sega Mega Drive to that generation of Nigerian gamers. But as great as Mortal Kombat was, it started to develop a problem. Its transition from 2D gameplay to 3D gameplay didn't really do well to the Nigerian audience. The speed and excitement of previous Mortal Kombat games were nowhere to be seen. They were just only Mortal Kombat by name but not by soul. Most people were turned away from this series, and some other people were looking for something new, something fresh. As Midway would spend a lot of years trying to get their groove back, something was about to happen in the year 2000. The year 2000 gave birth to the PlayStation 2, the most successful console to date. Nigerians have already accepted the PlayStation 1. They had no reason not to accept the PlayStation 2. Do you guys remember how big the PS2 was back then? A console aimed at adults, not children, ditching the idea that consoles or games were for kids. Which brings us to an unquestionable fact. If God of War did not come out on a PS2 back then, it would have definitely not become so popular in Nigeria. Sony was still creating or producing PlayStation 2 until like a few weeks before they announced a PS4, giving it like close to 12 years to circulate the globe and really circulate in Nigeria. Before anyone can argue about that, let's look at Resident Evil 4, which was an outstanding and chilling game which gave birth to the shoulder aim camera that every shooter game are now using. First came out in the GameCube, and guess what? Nobody in Nigeria gave a hoot about it. But when it got ported to the PlayStation 2, it was on fire, even having a small fan base. Among these things, another major factor helped in its success in this country. That was timing. If you look back at the PS2 back then before God of War came out, it really did not have a game to represent itself as the voice of that console. Nintendo had Mario and Microsoft had Halo. The PS2 mainstream appeal in this country at that time was Pro Evolution Soccer, and funny enough, a few people back then were looking for something else. So what am I trying to say? There was a hole in the Nigerian gaming community, and the new console was a game changer. A lot of great games came out in the year 2005, but why was God of War the only one that stood out of all of them? Well, to answer that, we'll have to look back at the year 2000 again.
I, Olusegun Obasanjo,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly.
We can all agree that the year 2000 brought a lot of technology to Nigeria. Technology like mobile phones, PC, and the internet. Phones quickly transformed from blue screen phones to devices you can surf the web, which gave back to the age of Teams and wallpapers. And let's not forget, God of War visually looks amazing, that if you take a picture of any scene, even if it's a battle scene, it looks right down amazing. People started dazzling their loved ones and friends with God of War wallpapers and themes on their phones. People that did not know what it was asked about it, and people who knew what it was talked about it. And this was the time where Bluetooth and USB flash drives were at their peaks, which helped in sharing and increasing its popularity. And that was it, as it represented itself as the best game on the only console worth talking about in this country. On one hand, we had the new generation gamers discovering what gaming is through a game like God of War and declaring it is the best game ever made. And on the second hand, we had the hardcore gamers wondering what all this noise is about and going to go and play the game, giving way to more argument, discussion, and awareness, which has given back to the angry mob we have today called the God of War fans. So if you have slept through all my ranting and just woke up, all I'm trying to say is God of War's popularity in Nigeria is as a result of mixed gaming appeal, blank main character, and perfect timing. It came at a time where both old and new gamers were looking for something new. And please take note of this, God of War feels too popular in Nigeria because gaming in general is becoming popular and acceptable in Nigeria. Because like it or not, this is the game that have made Nigeria gaming what it is today. And if you hate this franchise and you love to tell me and every other person you know how much you do hate this franchise, by any means go ahead, no one can stop you. But anyhow we look at it, whether we like it or we don't like it, it has left a strong impression in almost all of us. It's a game that have made a lot of Nigerians picked up a gamepad, touched a generation, inviting them to something fresh and making them feel something other forms of entertainment has never given them. And I want you guys to remember those games that touched you in your own generation, whether it's Mario, Sonic, Sunset Rider, Metal Gear Solid, Soul Calibur, Final Fantasy, or Tomb Raider. Remember what those games mean to us and what special place they have in our hearts. How we defend those games to the death if someone talks smack about them. So you can go ahead, type your hate message. It can't change what God of War has already done in this country. And to those that will defend God of War, you better do it fast, because someday a new game will arrive that will make a lot of us have conversations, become friends, and have arguments. Hi guys, I'm Zansuhira. Thank you for watching that video. I had a lot of fun making it and I hope you actually had fun watching it. Now I discovered a new tech company in Nigerian and they do some really cool stuff on it. So I ordered something from them, which is not exactly something huge or big. I'm planning on doing an unboxing, but it's not exactly, as I said, it's not something big. So I'll probably do that in my future video when I'm done with the other ones I'm working on. Anyway, if you like that video of God of War, please hit the like button. If this is your first time coming to this channel, please subscribe because we love video games just like you. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Stay dangerous, people.